Hey, it happens when you're working on your own. But I want to talk about something, and this video is going to be about planning. I'm starting to see on the Facebook pages and some other forums that people are just kind of diving in, and then they're doing these basic questions after they've already purchased an item or when they're listing an item. And when you're trying to get to the top of the ladder, or your top of the stairs, should I say, it's okay if you skip a step once in a while, but if you try to skip too many steps, you fall back down to the bottom of the ladder or the stairs. You get what I'm getting at? So it's important to try to take every step. Because when you get to the top, then you're at the top. You're not going to stumble. When you try to skip steps, that's when you have a chance to stumble. And one of the most basic steps out there is going to be planning, a business plan. And a business plan does sound scary to some people, but it can be very intense. But when you're going to be just reselling stuff like video games or cell phones or computers or clothing, you want to have a plan. Okay. So after this video, if you're going to jump on, if I haven't seen anyone on yet, but if you jump on, I will link down in the description. I will edit it and put in the Facebook group that I believe I called it Reselling is Life. So that's going to be my outlet to you guys, and I'll do live feeds there. I really was racking, going through my head, what was I going to charge for this information? And then, I started looking at some of my friends that I've learned from on YouTube, and they don't charge anything. It's about pulling up the people that's under you to your level, and then the people above you pulling you up to their level. So it should be us doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a Patreon or something like that. And if you feel the information I have given you is worthwhile and you can give, that's awesome. This will continue letting these videos come. It will give me more time. I won't have to go, over here and get that done to make money go here. I can spend time and the videos will get better. I do have camera equipment, like I keep saying, but to edit video does take time. And I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always looking for other ways to make money, and that's what I do. So I will have some information. I will be doing a live feed about that later. But anyways, let's go into planning and what it takes. I think I've done a video on this a little bit before, but let's talk about just planning. And I'm going to go over 10 things, and these are not the only 10 things. You can add a lot more to this, but these 10 things are really basic things, and you need to know these things before you jump in. And if you jump in without doing one of these things, it can affect the other levels. It could affect the other things on this list, okay? So let's talk about what you want to invest. Yes, it is an investment in yourself when you're an entrepreneur, what you're going to purchase, okay? So let's say you have $200. You have that $200, okay? So that's what you got to spend on items to resell. Let's say it's $500. That's the very first thing before you think about anything else, because that can actually affect, and I got to check my text real quick. I get texts all the time. So you guys will hear this phone go off a lot. Oh, it's nothing important. But anyways, you got to find out, what you can invest. Some people can invest $100, and that's not bad. Some people can do 50. That's not bad. We got to figure out how much you can invest, and then we know where to go from there. So that's the very first thing that you should be getting. Get a notebook out and write that down. Make that like the title. This is what I can invest. And we're going to go back to that original investment later in this list and talk about it, okay? So we want to find out how much money you can invest. You want to write that down. Now, you got to figure out what you want to sell, what you want to buy, okay? Because so what you want to sell and what you want to buy is the same thing. Be it cell phones. You want to just do cell phones. Let's say you want to do video games. Let's say you want to do computer parts. Let's say you want to do jewelry. Let's say you want to do clothing. The thing is, you got to figure out what you want to buy and start learning about that market, okay? But you want to put that down, what you want to sell. And I am getting tons of text today. Um, just one sec. Sorry, guys. I'm always reeling and dealing. I'm always. But anyways, you got to figure out what you want to buy. And that's why I want to get to where I'm editing videos. You guys won't get them stops. Literally, I just decided to do this with one thread I seen on a Facebook page, and I'm like, I got to talk about planning. So you want to find out what you want to buy. If it's going to be broken stuff, if it's going to be not broken stuff, you want to get as detailed as possible. Okay. If you want to buy cell phones, are you only going to do clean cell phones and good working cell phones? Are you okay with buying bad ESN cell phones? You want to make that list because you're going to want to stick to that list to grow at first. Okay. You don't want to be all over the board. You don't want to say, I got $50 and I can buy all this stuff, because the $50 won't go. You want to keep it really locked in. And as you grow, you add more to it. Okay. So you want to figure out what you want to buy, write that stuff down, write down what you're looking for, and then start researching that stuff. Okay. You've got to figure out where you're going to buy it. What platform are you going to use to go find these items? Is it going to be garage selling? Is it going to be Craigslist? Is it going to be Marketplace? Is it going to be on just a Facebook groups? Is it going to be placing wanted ads? Is it going to be putting flyers up at your local laundromat? Is it going to be working with the bars local in town to get cell phones? Is it going to be working with anyone outside, like the pawn shops, to figure out if they got broken items that they can't sell? Maybe you can go in and buy them items at a premium, not premium, but you get them at cheap where you can sell them on a premium. You want to find out where you're going to purchase these items and what you're going to do. Write down all your ideas. Okay. So Facebook Marketplace, and let's say you're going to sell computers and cell phones. Pawn shops are an excellent place, and the people are probably going to go, what do you mean? A lot of times pawn shops don't have tech people there. So they'll get items in, they'll get iCloud lock phones. And if you got an outlet to sell iCloud lock phones, that's a great place to go get them. They can't sell them. So, or let's say they get laptops in with broken screens. They might not know the screen costs $40 to $60. It takes 15 minutes to fix. You got that ability. You could probably work out some good deals there. Power jacks are another good one on laptops, guys. Pawn shops and other resale shops get a bad power jack. They just say it's not turning on, it's not charging. Power jacks are so easy to resolder in, and most new ones are just plug and play. You literally open it up and you can plug in a new power jack. So that's another outlet for you. And we'll talk about that more in detail in another video, about outlets to actually purchase items. But you want to start jotting down where you want to buy them. So now we know how much you're going to invest, what you're looking to buy, and where you're going to look to buy them. All right. So we talked about that, and now we're going to say, how much margin's needed, how much, because you know where you're going to buy them, you know how much money you have, you know what you're going to buy, but now you need to know the margin that you want. Okay. And only you can set this. My margin is going to be different than Joe's margin, and Joe's margin is going to be more than Lucy's margin. Okay. So you want to figure out the margin. Now, margin is different than markup. A lot of people think if they buy something for $50 and sell it for $100, that's 100% margin. It is not. That is a 50% margin. Okay. So margins basically is what you sell it for. Let's say $100. And you've spent 50 on it, your margin is 50% of that sale. Okay. That's your margin. So you have a 50% margin. I like going on percent. The reason I like going on percent is because a lot of times you'll go in, I need to make $100 on each and every single sale. Well, are you going to put $1,000 out there on one item to make $100? Or would you rather, buy 10 items for $100 a piece and sell them for $200, where you double your money at 50% margin? So there are cases where you want to make lower margin because it's such a quick sale. There are cases. That's why I like going by percent. But that's me. So you want to figure out your percent of margin you're looking for. A good set margin, in my opinion, is 30 to 50% margin. Now, Everyone's good. So there's going to be some saying that's outrageous. You should be able to do it on 10% margin. I will tell you why you can't do it on 10% margin in another video, and we'll hit a little bit about it today. Okay, so we talked about margin, and then we're going to tell you how you're going to buy. Now you're just saying, but we already talked about how much you're going to invest, where you're going to buy, and all this. But how are you going to buy? We know your budget's 50. Are you going to use a credit card? I don't suggest using a credit card to buy merchandise unless you're going to pay it off that month. You don't want to pay interest on your money already. Are you going to use cash? Are you going to trade people stuff? You want to? It's a really simple step, but you want to know. And since you're talking about this, you might open up like, I have $50 cash, but I have stuff I can trade people. There's a lot of stuff that you can sell that's on Craigslist, just on the trading section. So, but you want to learn how you're going to buy. How are you going to go out and get it? Are you going to drive your car? Are you going to have people come to you? Are you going to meet people? What is your maximum amount of distance you willing to meet people? That will go in this section. You want to write all that down, and when you make these rules, stick to them rules. Okay. So if your rule is, I'm only going to charge, I'm only going to go 30 miles away. That's my maximum distance. I'll meet people 30 miles away. Stick to it, because you're going to get that one deal that's going to be, oh my Lord, I'm going to get an iPhone 8 for $100. They're an hour away. I don't care. You're going to go and it's going to bomb. Okay. So stick to it. Yes, there's going to be times that you do get it, but stick to that. There's plenty of phones and computers and everything out there. Okay. Now we're talking about where you're going to sell. What platform are you going to use? There's eBay, Mercari, there's 5 Mile, OfferUp, there's Let Go, Facebook pages. Like, there's Marketplace, and then there's Facebook pages ran by individuals. There's Craigslist. There's a local. You open your own store. I think I said eBay already. There's other places like eBay. There's Swappa. So you want to go through and start researching where you're going to sell these phones. Now, there is one important thing I will throw out there real quick, and that is you do not want to cross-post your phones. The reason is, let's say you sell it on Swappa, eBay, and local, and you have one phone on all the platforms, okay? If you sell it local, you can take it off them other two. But let's say you sell it on eBay. Let's say you go to sleep, you sell it on eBay and Swappa, you're going to be canceling one of them orders, and you don't want to do that. So I recommend, if you're going to do the online way and not sell local, pick one platform. What platform works for you? That simple. What platform works for you? And then once you choose them platform or platforms, let's say you're going to sell broken phones on this platform and good phones on this platform, you want to go ahead and read the rules of that platform and become educated on that platform. Okay, so that's another thing you want to plan. Now you're going to want to know, how am I going to take payments? What am I going to do when it comes time to sell my item? If you're on eBay, they're changing their ways. PayPal is going to be going away in 2022 or 20. I forget the exact, but it might still be an option to pay there, but they're going to be going their own little way. Actually, is on top of my head what the platform they're calling it. But anyways, they're going to be accepting a lot of platforms, and eBay basically keeps the funds like every other site, and they make a daily deposit into your account, your bank account. But locally, you can do PayPal. You can accept credit cards through PayPal locally with their swipe machine. You can go Square Up if you want to accept credit cards. If you accept cash, everyone accepts cash, but you want to keep that, write that down. I accept cash, credit card through this processor. You want to say I accept PayPal, and go through all that. You want to know where your money is going to be at, and then you want to set up one single bank account for your selling. Separate your personal and your banking account. We'll get to that in a little bit. Now, how are you going to ship? What are you going to ship? I still laugh a little bit when people sell something that's under £1 on eBay. If they sell it on eBay and they sell it under £1, and then they put them in them flat rate boxes, I don't understand that, because you can buy boxes that are smaller than that protects the phone just as well, and it only costs you $3 or $4 to ship the phone. You can usually get a 6x6 box, put the phone in it, and it's under £1, and it protects it. and the flat rate costs 7 something. So everyone's like, well, the customer pays shipping. Well, then you can lower the shipping down for your customers and offer, like I do, I offer free shipping. I just eat that $3 or $4. It's not that big a deal, and it ups me up. That's another thing we can talk about on eBay, how free shipping makes you better in the searches. But anyways, you want to find out who you're going to ship with. I recommend anything that's under a pound, USPS. And then when it goes over a pound, you kind of want to go back and forth between FedEx, UPS, and USPS, because sometimes if it's like 6 pounds and I'm in Wisconsin and it's going to Texas, it might actually be cheaper, even with the flat rate boxes, to ship through FedEx. Or if it's going to California, UPS might be cheaper. So I actually use all 3 platforms for that reason. But you want to know who you're going to ship with. You're going to want to know their rates. It's pretty common once you start shipping, you know what a box and a weight is going to cost you to ship. And then you're going to want to know how you're going to ship your stuff. Now, I don't recommend, some people put their phone just in them, bubble envelopes. I don't recommend that. Now, if you put the phone inside a box and then inside a bubble envelope, that's totally fine. So just note that you don't want to put your phone in a bubble envelope, okay? So you want to know who you're going to ship with and how you're going to ship. You want to write that stuff down too. Okay, now you're going to want to write your return policy. Now, I get it. People are going to say eBay makes you take returns no matter what. This is not true. Okay, if the item's not as described, yes, they make you take the return. Okay, but you want to have a return policy that you can always fall back on. And that return policy can be on swap, but also that return policy can be local. You want to write a return policy. It's very easy. You can look up return policies and whatever you're going to sell, computers, all cell phones, computer parts, toys, all that stuff. You can look up prior return policies with someone else doing it and just kind of copy it if you like that, or edit it to what you want. And I'm telling you guys, if you open up your eBay, if you're selling on eBay to free returns, you're not going to see that big of flux. Everyone's going to return stuff, okay? It just doesn't happen. Okay, so you want to write a return policy, and now we want to talk about, and this goes back to the original investment, you want to talk about what you want to pay yourself, okay? Some people take 1% of every sale. Fair enough. Some people says, I'm paying myself $500 a week. Fair enough. If you have a bad week, you might be owing yourself some money, okay? The reason you want to do that is, think about this. Let's say you have $100 to invest, and you always keep taking all the profits out. You're only going to have $100 to invest at all times. You're never going to grow. You will die. So if you set up, I want to be paid this much money per week, or I'm going to take 15% of every sale for my own wage, and you take all the rest of that money and you put it back into your business then is growing, and you're going to sell more product. You're going to have more product. You're going to sell, and you're going to make more money. And in turn, you're going to see, if you take 15%, you're going to make more money per week. You grow, your percent stays the same, but your take increases. Now, what do? I pay myself a wage, and it just goes into the business. The rest of it goes into the business. I know how much I need to do to survive. If I need to give myself a raise, I do. Let's say I'm going to buy another car, or I'm going to buy a house or whatever. I can give myself a raise to cover that payment, and I say, I gave myself a raise now. That can be done. A percent wise, if you're having a bad month, your money intake's gonna be a little bit lower. If you have a good month, it's gonna be a little bit higher. But there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to stick to it, okay? You don't want to sit there and go, well, man, if you're paying yourself $500 a week, and you say, well, we did 30,000, so I'm going to take $10,000 and go blow it. Your business isn't going to grow. Your business started growing because you had money to invest. A business that's not growing is dying, and it will fade away eventually. So you want to continue growing. You want that individual investment of a $50 to $100, $500 be more money the next week. Okay, so these are the 10 things that you want to look at. We didn't get into marketing. We didn't get into advertising. We didn't do stuff like that. We talked about the basics, okay? And this is a live feed that it is what it is. I can't edit it. I can't show you screenshots, nothing like that. I got to get to that point. Um, what we're going to talk about on the next video, and this is probably going to be one of my more popular videos, and it will be either done tonight or in the next few days. I want to talk about how to find the product. And these aren't ever going to go in order. It's just what I want to talk about. But how to find product and how to actually place ads and never get banned. This isn't getting around it. This isn't putting different titles up and putting spaces in places. It's not putting a dollar sign here and a space there to get around rules. This is how to properly do it without ever getting banned, and people will enjoy your ads and you'll make money. That's the next video, guys. I'm going to have to go because I got to list stuff today. I got to make some money. All right, I'm out.